Cubs had a 3-game series against the Milwaukee Brewers, so we're going to look over all 3 of those games. We're going to look at one went right and one went wrong. All of that is happening on this episode of Cubs 360. What's up, Cubs fans? This is Jack from Cubs 360. Thank you very much for tuning in to episode 34 of the Cubs 360 podcast. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. So this is my series recap to the Milwaukee Brewers series. This is a very pivotal series for both of these teams as they both enter the series with a record of 62-43. So the division title is on the line in this series, and we could very much see how both of these teams end up at the end of the series. So this is a very pivotal series like I just mentioned, but let's get right to it. So in the first game at the top of the first, the Cubs have to go through Jacob Misiorowski first. So Bush will hit a base at center, Tuck will get walked, Suzuki will reach on an infield single to first to load the bases, PCA struck out swinging, but Bush will score, Suzuki will go to second, and Tucker to third on a wild pitch by Misiorowski to make it 1-0 Cubs. Kelly will strike out looking, but then Happ will reach on an infield single to Misiorowski. Tucker and Suzuki will score on a throwing error by Misiorowski. So pretty much 2 errors there by Misiorowski, and the Cubs get 3 runs as a result of it. Dansby Swanson will get walked, Happ will go to second, and then Horner will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the first now, Matt Boyd is pitching for the Cubs. Frelick will get walked as well as Churio. Contreras will ground it into a double play. Yelich will ground it to first. In the top of the second now, Shaw struck out swinging as well as Bush, as Tucker will line out to right. In the bottom of the second, Vaughn will ground out to short. Collins will fly out to center. Terang will hit a base into center. Durbin will get walked. Terang will go to second, and then Ortiz will fly out to center. In the top of the third, Suzuki will foul out to third. PCA will strike out swinging. Kelly will line out to center. In the bottom of the third now, Frelick will hit a base to right. Churio struck out swinging. Contreras will hit a base to left to send Frelick to second. Yelich will hit a double to right to score Frelick. Contreras will go to third to make it 3-1. And then Vaughn will get walked. Collins will hit a base to right to score Contreras and Yelich. Vaughn will go to third to tie the game to 3, and then Terang will hit a sac fly to center to score Vaughn, and then Collins will go to second to make it 4-3 Milwaukee, and then Durbin will pop out to second to end the inning. In the top of the fourth now, Happ struck out swinging. Dansby Swanson will fly out to left, and then Nico Horner will ground out to third. In the bottom of the fourth now, Ortiz will ground out to third, Frelick struck out looking, Churio gets walked, and Contreras will pop out to second. In the top of the fifth now, Hall pitching for the Brewers. Shaw struck out looking, Bush will hit a base to right, Tucker will foul out to third, Suzuki will get walked, so there's 2 runners on, but then PCA will fly out to right. In the bottom of the fifth now, Yelich will ground out to first, Vaughn will hit a home run to left center field to make it 5-3 Brewers. Collins will fly out to right, and Terang will ground out to second. In the top of the sixth now, Mears pitching for the Brewers still, and Kelly will fly out to right, Happ struck out looking, and Dansby Swanson struck out swinging. So the Cubs still can't get runs on the board after putting up 3 in the first, and the Brewers with a 2-run lead heading into the bottom of the sixth as Ryan Presley will go in for the Cubs. Durbin will fly out to right, Ortiz will fly out to center, Frelick hits a home run to make it 6-3, and then Churio will ground out to second. In the top of the seventh, Anderson pitching for the Brewers. Horner will hit a base to right, Shaw struck out swinging, Bush got hit by the pitch, Horner will go to second, and then Koenig pitching for the Brewers as Tucker will hit a base to center to score Horner. Tucker will go to second, and Bush is thrown out at third to make it 6-4, but then Suzuki struck out swinging. In the bottom of the seventh now, Flexen pitching for the Cubs. Contreras will hit a base to left. Yelich hits a home run to right center field to make it 8-4. Vaughn will ground out to third. Collins will hit a base to center. Terang will fly out to left, and Durbin will pop out to first. Uribe pitching for the Brewers in the top of the eighth. Churio's in left, and Perkins is in center. PCA will ground out to third. Kelly got hit by the pitch. Happ struck out swinging, and Dansby Swanson will line out to second. In the bottom of the eighth now, Flexen still pitching for the Cubs. Ortiz struck out swinging. Frelick will fly out to center, and Churio will line out to center. In the top of the ninth now, Yoho pitching for the Milwaukee Brewers, as Horner will fly out to right, Shaw will fly out to center, Bush will get walked, and he goes to second on a fielder's indifference. Tucker will get walked, and then McGill will go in for the Brewers, and Suzuki will strike out swinging. To end the game, the Milwaukee Brewers take the opener of the series 8-4. The win goes to Mears, who had 1 inning pitched and gave up no hits, no earned runs, had 2 strikeouts. He's 2-3 on the year. Matt Boyd with the loss, he's 11-4 with 5 innings pitched. He gave up 5 earned runs and 6 hits with only 2 strikeouts. And McGill with his 24th save of the year with only 1/3 of an inning pitched with 1 strikeout. So with that said, the Milwaukee Brewers were the better team. They found ways to win, and they dominated the offensive game after the first inning. They found a way to come back from 3-0, and in the rest of the game, it was 8-1 in favor of Milwaukee. So the Brewers were just finding a way to win, and they are 63-43. The Cubs are 62-44. They take the division lead after this game, but the Cubs have a chance to bounce back, tie the series, and tie the division back up in game number 2. So in game number 2, Priester pitching for the Milwaukee Brewers. Bush will fly out to left. Tucker will ground out to second, and Suzuki will ground out to short. Colin Ray pitching for the Cubs in the bottom of the first. Frelick will ground out to second. Churio will reach on an infield single to third, and he got picked off at first. And then Contreras will reach on an infield single to short, and Yelich will ground out to second. In the top of the second now, PCA will get walked. Horner will hit a base to center. PCA will go to second. Happ will line out to center. PCA will go to third. Swanson will ground it into a fielder's choice to third. PCA will score. Horner is out at second to make it 1-0 Cubs. McGuire will hit a base to center to send Swanson to third, but then Matt Shaw will ground out to second. In the bottom of the second now, Vaughn will reach on an infield single to third. Collins will hit a base hit to right, which will send Vaughn to second. Turang will hit a sac bunt to Colin Ray. Collins will go to second. Vaughn to third. And then Siegler will hit a sac fly to center to score. Vaughn. Collins will go to third to tie the game at 1 run apiece. And then Ortiz struck out looking. In the top of the third, Bush will fly out to center. Tucker will ground out to second, and Suzuki will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the third, Frelick will hit a base to center. Churio will ground it into a fielder's choice to short, and Frelick is out at second. Contreras will hit a base to center. Churio will go to second. Yelich will get walked to load the bases. Vaughn will hit a sac fly to center to score Churio. Contreras will go to third, and the Milwaukee Brewers take the lead 2-1. Collins will foul out to the catcher to end the inning. At the top of the fourth, PCA will hit a base to center. Nico Horner will reach on an infield single to Priester. PCA will go to second. Ian Happ will ground out to second. Horner to second, and then PCA will go to third. And then Dansby Swanson struck out swinging. McGuire will ground out to the catcher. In the bottom of the fourth now, Turang will ground out to second. Siegler will hit a base to center. Ortiz grounds out to short. Siegler will go to second. And then Frelick will strike out swinging. In the top of the fifth, Shaw will hit a double to right. Bush will ground out to Priester. Shaw will go to third. Tucker will get walked. And then Suzuki grounds it into a double play. In the bottom of the fifth now, Churio will hit a triple to right. Perkins will run for Churio. Contreras will hit a double to center. Perkins will score. Pomeranz pitching for the Cubs now as Yelich is safe at first on a fielding error by PCA. Yelich is safe at second on the error, and Contreras is safe at third. Vaughn will hit a base to center to score Contreras. Yelich will go to third to make it 4-1 Brewers. And then Collins will get walked. Vaughn will go to second. Turang will strike out swinging. Durbin will pinch it for Siegler. And Brazier will go in for the Cubs as he hits a sac fly to right. Yelich will score. Vaughn will go to third to make it 5-1 Brewers. And then Collins stole second. Ortiz will pop out to second. In the top of the sixth now, Perkins will go to center. And Durbin will go to third. PCA will ground out to second. Nico Horner hits a homer on the left to make it 5-2. Ian Happ will hit a double to right. Swanson will hit a base hit to left. Happ will go to third. McGuire struck out looking. And Ashby will go in for the Brewers as Shaw will pop out to second. In the bottom of the sixth now, Presley pitching for the Chicago Cubs as Frelick will foul out to third. Perkins will get walked. Contreras is safe at first on a fielding error by Horner, and Perkins is safe at second on the error. Yelich will get walked to load the bases, and then Vaughn will hit a grand slam to left center field to make it 9-2 in favor of the Milwaukee Brewers, pretty much putting this game away already. And then Collins will strike out looking, and Turang struck out swinging. In the top of the seventh, Turner will pinch hit for Bush, and he grounds out to short. Tucker will get walked. Suzuki will hit a double to left, and Tucker will go to third. PCA will hit a sac fly to right to score Tucker to make it 9-3, and then Horner will line out to right. In the bottom of the seventh now, Krisky pitching for the Cubs. Turner will go to first. Durbin will get walked. Ortiz flies out to center, as well as Frelick, and then Perkins will fly out to right. Ashby still pitching for the Brewers in the top of the eighth. Brujan will pinch hit for Happ, and he struck out swinging. Swanson will ground out to second, and McGuire struck out looking. Hollowell pitching for the Cubs in the bottom of the eighth. Brujan will go to left field. Contreras will get walked. Yelich struck out swinging, as well as Vaughn, and Collins struck out looking. In the top of the ninth, Shaw will ground out to third. Turner will ground out to second. Birdie will pinch hit for Tucker, and he grounds out to short to end the game. The Milwaukee Brewers extend their division lead to 2 games. They win Game 2 of the series by a final score of 9-3. The win goes to Priester, 10-2 on the year, 5 2/3 innings pitched. He gave up 2 earned runs and 8 hits with 3 strikeouts. Colin Ray with the loss, who's 8-5 on the year. He only went 4 innings. He gave up 4 earned runs and 9 hits. He only had 2 strikeouts. Ashby with his second save of the year, 3 1/3 innings pitched. He gave up 1 earned run and 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. So the Cubs have not looked good whatsoever at all during the series, but they do have a chance to avoid the sweep in game number 3. So in game number 3, certified Cubs killer Freddie Peralta is pitching for the Milwaukee Brewers. And on the first pitch, Mike Busch will hit a home run to right center field to make it 1-0 Cubs. Tucker will get walked. Suzuki struck out swinging. PC will hit a base hit to right. Kelly will foul out to first. And Nico Hoerner struck out swinging. Shota Imanaga pitching for the Cubs in the bottom of the first. He's trying to bounce back after that abysmal game against the White Sox. Frelick struck out looking. Collins struck out swinging. Contreras hits a home run to left to tie the game at 1. And then Yelich struck out swinging. In the top of the second now, Ballesteros will ground out to third. Swanson will line out to center. And Shaw struck out looking. In the bottom of the second now, Vaughn will hit a base hit to left. Durbin pops out to second. Terang will bunt pop out to third. And then Perkins will strike out swinging. In the top of the third, Mike Busch will fly out to left. Tucker will hit a base hit to center. Suzuki will get walked. PCA will hit a double to right to score Tucker. Suzuki will go to third to make it 2-1. Kelly will ground it into a fielder's choice to first. PCA will go to third, and Suzuki is out at home. Nico Hoerner will get walked. Kelly will go to second. Ballesteros will hit a double to left to score PCA, Hoerner, and Kelly to make it 5-1 in favor of the Chicago Cubs here. And Swanson will ground out to Peralta. In the bottom of the third, Ortiz grounds out to short. Frelick will fly out to left, and Collins struck out swinging. In the top of the fourth now, Shaw will fly out to right. Busch will line out to right. Tucker will get walked, and Suzuki will line out to right. In the bottom of the fourth, Contreras hits a home run to right to make it 5-2. Yelich will ground out to short. Vaughn strikes out swinging, and Durbin will fly out to right. In the top of the fifth, Hall pitching for the Brewers. PCA will strike out swinging. Kelly will ground out to short, and Nico Hoerner will ground out to Hall. In the bottom of the fifth, Terang struck out looking. Perkins will hit a double to left. Ortiz hits a base hit to left to send Perkins to third. And Frelick will hit a sac fly to right, and Perkins will score to make it 5-3. And then Collins struck out swinging. In the top of the sixth, Turner will pinch hit for Ballesteros. He hits a double to right. Swanson will hit a double to center to score Turner to make it 6-3. Shaw will reach on an infield single to third. Koenig pitching for the Brewers now as Busch will ground out to second. Shaw will go to second. Swanson will go to third. Tucker will hit a double to right to score Shaw and Swanson, make it 8-3. Suzuki will get walked. PCA got hit by the pitch to load the bases, and Anderson will go in for the Brewers. Kelly will pop out to second, and Nico Hoerner will line out to third. In the bottom of the sixth now, Turner is the DH as Keller is pitching for the Cubs, as Contreras will ground out to third. Yelich struck out swinging, and Vaughn will ground out to second. Anderson is still pitching for the Brewers in the top of the seventh. Happ will pinch hit for Turner as he struck out swinging, as well as Swanson and Shaw. In the bottom of the seventh now, Happ is now the DH. Durbin will ground out to third. Terang will ground out to second. Perkins will hit a base hit to right. Siegler will pinch hit for Ortiz, and he flies out to left. In the top of the eighth now, McGee pitching for the Brewers. Durbin is at short. Siegler is at third. Mike Busch will strike out looking. Kyle Tucker will ground out to short, and Suzuki struck out swinging. Thielbar pitching for the Cubs in the top of the eighth. Frelick will line out to left. Monasterio will pinch it for Collins, and he fouls out to third. Contreras will ground out to second. In the top of the ninth now, Monasterio is in left field. PCA will hit a double to second. Kelly will fly out to right. Nico Hoerner will hit a sac fly to right to score PCA to make it 9-3. And then Ian Happ will hit a home run to right center field to make it 10-3. And then Swanson will ground out to short. In the bottom of the ninth, Palencia pitching for the Cubs. Jansen will pinch hit for Yelich as he struck out looking. Vaughn will fly out to right. Durbin will hit a base hit to center, and he will go to second on a fielder's indifference. But then Terang grounds out to first. So the Cubs win Game 3. They avoid the sweep. They win by a final score of 10-3. The win goes to Shota Imanaga, 5 innings pitched. He gave up 3 earned runs and 5 hits with 8 strikeouts. And the loss goes to Freddie Peralta with a rare, not-so-good performance against the Cubs. As I mentioned before I recapped this game, he's pretty much a Cubs killer, but not today. He went 4 innings pitched. He gave up 5 earned runs and 5 hits with only 3 strikeouts. My 3 stars for this game, my third star was Ian Happ, who went 1 for 2 with a home run and an RBI. Michael Busch was my second star, who went 1 for 5 with a home run and an RBI. And my first star was Ballesteros, who went 1 for 2 with 3 RBIs. So he was able to produce quite a bit of offense in this game, and we needed that because It seemed like the Cubs were pretty much dead in this entire series, but then they showed a little bit of life in this game right here. So big win for the Cubs, as that is the series. At the conclusion of it, they're 63-45, and the Milwaukee Brewers are 64-44. So the Cubs lose the series. They only take 1 out of 3, but they end off on a high note, and they do avoid the sweep. So with that said, give me your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will have more series recaps coming out in the future, just like I mentioned in the White Sox series recap. So if you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. So this is Jack from Cubs360, and as always, go Cubs go.